Okay, we are live. I am late to the party because technology loves me. For those of you who are catching this on the replay, feel free to jump ahead. If you tap on the screen, you'll jump ahead in probably about a 3-minute interval. So if you jump ahead, you'll kind of skip through some of this initial ramblings, the initial greetings, saying hi to people. If you want to listen, please listen. For those of you, we've got it's Matt in the house. Hey Matt, good to see you. Barry just joined in. Good to see you. Nuber Fran, hi. So good to see you as well. Technology is not being my friend. It never is when I do these live videos. So we're here. That's the most important thing. Instagram crashed about 8 times before this video went live. So hopefully it stays going because this is just life, right? We just learn to deal with it. I am also not simulcasting on Facebook tonight because you know what? I'm over Facebook Live, not working for me. Bald Guy Studios in the house. Hey Chuck, good to see you. Barry saying hi. Hey, so good to see you. I know we haven't chatted in a while. But yeah, so I'm not doing Facebook Live tonight, you guys. It's not been very friendly to me every time I do a Facebook Live when I simulcast these. Facebook dies out at about the 25 to 30 minute mark, and it loses all audio, it loses video, like it turns into, quite honestly, a shit show. And I decided to forego it this week. I'm just going to do Instagram. I'm going to be here for you guys. I love you. You guys are always so involved and entertaining and valuable in terms of the questions you bring. So I'm going to hang out here. The replay is going to live for 24 hours. So if you do have to leave and you want to come back because we're talking about shadow banning, which I know you are so excited to talk about because it's all anybody wants to talk about these days. But if you can't catch the whole video, we're probably going to talk for at least a half hour, probably 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. The longest we can go is an hour before Instagram cuts me off. So I'll squeeze what I can in as much as I can in that hour. But if you can't catch the whole thing, please feel free to come back and watch the replay. It will live here on Instagram for an hour, for 24 hours. And then we'll just let it dissolve into the space of the internet. And be gone with, and it's just not going to live on Facebook because I'm just mad at Facebook and it's just not working for me. So no more Facebook this week. We'll see what happens the next time we do one of these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just type this up on here that we are talking about shadow banning, so that anybody who is tuning in knows what we're talking about. Let's do shadow banning all the... Oops. See, this is what happens when I try to type when it's on my tripod. It makes it really difficult. Okay, so we're talking shadow banning. We're going to pin. There we go. We are pinned. All right, you guys. Allison's in the house. Hey, Allison. Hey, girl. I'm going to get started here. I want to just give everybody a chance to tune on. I know I came in a couple minutes late because, like I said, technology wasn't working. Instagram crashed about 8 times before I could get this to actually go live. So I'm just going to wait and give people a few minutes to kind of catch on, make sure everybody's here. We are going to be talking about shadow banning tonight. This is a prevalent theory. I'm going to call it a theory. A prevalent theory about what's going on over here on Instagram. So this is what we're talking about tonight. If you have questions as I'm going through the topic tonight, please, by all means, leave those questions in the comments here. I am happy to answer those questions. I will come back to any questions I miss. If you guys haven't heard me live, you know I tend to kind of get going and I'm just going to answer the topic that I'm addressing and we're just going to talk through it. And then I kind of go back and I find all the comments that I missed and we'll address them. Victor's here. Hey, Victor. So good to see you. We chatted at Social Media Day a couple weeks ago. It's so good to see you again. So if you do have questions, you guys, please feel free to leave those in the comments. I will answer them as much as I can. And likewise, if you're catching this on the replay, feel free to message me. You can just hit that comment button right there and send me a message, and it'll come into my DMs and I can answer you guys that way if there's a specific question you have that doesn't get answered in this video. I also have a blog post up at jenstrends.com, Jenns trends.com, that I recently published. I think it was last week. No, 2 weeks ago, on shadow banning, and it's all about this topic. So you can go check that blog post out. It has a bunch more information, things that kind of I may not get into as much detail tonight on this call. So if there's something that you feel you didn't get answered and you want to check it out, go read that blog post. It's literally just go to my blog. You'll see it's one of the recent ones, or just go to the search bar and type in shadow banning and you'll find it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. For those of you watching on the replay, thank you for coming back and watching on the replay. For those of you who are here live, thank you. I love when you guys are here live. You guys are the best. I have the best audience on Instagram. So we are talking tonight about shadow banning. This is the crazy excuse theory, conspiracy theory, all these different things that people, are kind of turning to when they are noticing a significant drop in their engagement. So basically what's happening is people are saying, well, I'm not getting any likes. I used to get 200 likes and now I'm getting 100. I used to get 1,000 likes. Now I'm getting 500 or whatever it is. So people are noticing significant drops in the amount of engagement they're getting on Instagram. So of course there must be a reason, right? There's always a reason for something, and we always like to have a good, scapegoat. So welcome to shadow banning. Barry's saying, glad I have had the chance to drop in on this one. I'm so glad you're here for this one too. Glad you could make it. I'm sure it's not a convenient time for you, but glad you're here, Barry. So what is shadow banning? Where did this theory come from? It pretty much, I think, like November or December was when it was kind of first introduced as a terminology, kind of when it was first noticed. The first people that seemed to have noticed it were photographers, people who use their Instagram accounts to promote their photography. And this started kind of coming up in some circles and, like inner groups and networking spaces that, they have noticed a significant drop in their engagement. And they started doing some research, and basically what is happening is, let's say I upload a photo to Instagram and I use all my hashtags, because we all love a good hashtag, right? Like we've all talked hashtag strategies, we're all aware of what a hashtag does. So you use all your hashtags, and when you post your photo, typically what'll happen is that your post will show up in that hashtag hub, that hashtag gallery. So if I used hashtag social media, in theory, my photo would show up in that gallery. Now, something like social media is super popular. It's a really, really big hashtag gallery. So my content might show up for a matter of minutes, and then it's going to be buried in the archives. But if I use something like hashtag Instagram marketing or Instagram training, which is a bit more niche specific, my content will probably live on for hours into days because it's not as popular in terms of daily usage. So you post a hashtag, your content shows up in the hashtag gallery. It's that simple. All content would show up in a hashtag gallery for that related hashtag. Danny's saying, she's like, girl, you're not late. You're just on time. We just got started. I'm just recounting for everybody what shadow banning is. Any of you who are tuning in late, I'm explaining what shadow banning is. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. We will answer those questions as I go through. I have a whole list of things to talk about to tell you all about shadow banning. So basically the idea is you post a photo on Instagram, you put the hashtag that shows up in the hashtag hub, people go and like it, you get more likes, you get in front of new people. That's the whole idea behind hashtags, right? It's going to get you new eyeballs on your content. Well, shadow banning, as it's defined, is that your content will not show up in other people who do not follow you in their hashtag searches. So, for example, if Danny, because you just tuned in, so I'm going to throw you into the bus, girl. If Danny follows me on Instagram, then she would see my post in that hashtag gallery. So if I used hashtag Instagram marketing and Danny went to hashtag Instagram marketing, she would see my post. But let's say Barry is not following me, which would be ridiculous, right, Barry? But let's just say Barry's not following me on Instagram. And if he went to the hashtag Instagram marketing gallery, he would not see my content. So that's what shadow banning is. By theory and definition, it's that someone who is not following you will not see your content in a hashtag hub. So, of course, this is, sirens are going off and people are freaking out and the world is coming to a disastrous end because now you can't put your content in front of new people. This is the concept. And Chuck, Bald Guy Studio, saying, aha, this makes sense. Barry said, I'm always following even if you don't see me. So I wanted to explain to you that that's the concept of shadow banning. That's where this is coming from, is that, Instagram is allegedly hiding our content, that, it's not showing our content to new people, and why are they doing this? So that now we're into a whole new world of why. So, of course, it was conspiracy theory at the time, right? So all the theories have come out, that it's only impacting business accounts. Not true. This phenomenon is equal opportunity. It's not, I'm not saying it is happening or not happening, but let's just be clear. This is not isolated to business accounts. This is any account that is, by Instagram or Facebook's definition, creating sales type content. So in theory, by that statement, and that's not a direct quote, but it's very close to a direct quote from somebody from Facebook. So in theory, if I'm using my personal account purely to share photos with my family and friends, then I would not be affected by this shadow banning. Let's think about that for a minute. Just playing devil's advocate here against Instagram. If all I care about is sharing my content with friends and family, am I using hashtags? Probably not. Am I using hashtag Instagram marketing if I want my friends to see my daughter? Probably not. Who's using hashtag Instagram marketing? The marketers. The people who are trying to get new people to see their content. So, just saying that essentially this is an equal opportunity penalty, if you want to call it that if Instagram is really doing this, then it's not just business accounts, it's any account who's acting in any way in a sales type manner, which basically means anybody. Because if you're not using hashtags, you're not trying to get found. If you're using hashtags, you're trying to get found, which puts you into the salesy category. So, by that definition, if this is happening as it's described, then it's happening to everybody. So let's just clear that up. Being a business account has no additional impact on shadow banning. So then people started saying, so Danny's saying, I don't understand this. Okay, give me more clarification on what you don't understand, Danny, in terms of what I just said. Are you not understanding just the shadow banning concept as I just explained it, or like about who, when they're talking about, people who are acting salesy? Like, just clarify for me what you don't understand, and I'll see if I can make that a little bit more clear. So the theories continued. It was business accounts only that were being affected. Well, that's been debunked by everybody I've talked to. Okay, Danny's asking, why would this be happening? We're going to get to that, sweetie, I promise. Because I have some theories. I got lots of theories. We're going to get to that whole, I promise. So John M. Blake is saying, so if I share a photo of me grilling and want folks that have a Weber grill to see it, I'm getting shadow banned if I use hashtag Weber grills. It's possible. Not 100% sure. Again, this is all very selective, and we're going to talk more about certain hashtags and how using them. But yeah, in theory, you could be shadow banned because you used a hashtag. But when I explain more about some of the AI and things that are going on, I don't think you would be impacted by that. I think that would actually benefit you using that hashtag. But we're going to talk more about that. So hold that thought. Because Danny is saying, wouldn't you lose money? No. And we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to tell you why they're doing this. I'm telling you, there's a whole mastermind going on that's causing all of this. I promise you that. Walker Woodworking is saying, but when I search hashtags, I see posts for accounts I don't follow. Yes, you do. Absolutely. There's tons of content. If you go look at any hashtag, especially something that has like tens of thousands of posts, those are not from people you follow. So people's content are showing up in there. Which, again, this leads to my theories, and some things. And this is why, again, I have to stress, you guys, everything I'm saying. Okay, so John's saying, okay, got it, thumbs up. Danny's saying, crap. Don't worry, sweetie. I got you covered. No matter what happens, I got you covered, girl. I promise. James is in the house saying, good day from Singapore. Good to see you, James. He's always missed your Wednesday morning sharing and have to take the day off and listen soon. Absolutely. The replay, you guys will be here for 24 hours. So make sure you come back and catch the replay if you don't get this whole thing. So, Okay, let me continue with my path, and we'll come back to all of this. And I know I'm kind of circling around, it's because I have points I want to get to, and I want to make sure that we get to them all. And I don't want to get diverted too quickly. So bear with me. I promise we're going to cover all this stuff. So the theory was, okay, well, I'm going to stop using, the popular hashtags, and I'm only going to use, less popular hashtags, and that would work. Well, that didn't necessarily make a difference in this whole conspiracy theory. Another theory that has been thrown out there that's causing the shadow banning is when you use the same hashtags repeatedly. So, for example, I use a set hashtag kind of list. I use the same ones. They're all branded. They're all industry specific. They're keyword targeted for what I think people are going to find me for. And I use the same hashtags over and over and over again. In theory, my content will get shadow banned because I'm using the same hashtags over and over and over again, and that makes me look salesy, it makes me look spammy, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get shadow banned. Okay? People stopped doing it. Same thing kept happening. So guess what? That's not the problem. Okay, so now there's a company that's out there. I think they're called Plan That, like PLANN that. They're a relatively new company that just popped up. I'm just starting to see them. Seeking Surnames is in the house. Hey, sweetie. So good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. We are talking all the good stuff about shadow banning. John's asking for strategies. I've got some strategies for you, and things are going to work going forward. I've got lots of things to talk about for the future of hashtags and the future of Instagram marketing. You guys are getting literally my first public information on this. I've written a blog post on this. I talked about that at the top of the broadcast at jenstrends.com. I talked about the blog post I wrote on shadow banning. So I have a lot more to come. This topic is not going away, but this is literally my first public explanation of things that are coming, and what you guys can expect. So you guys are like, you've got it. Like, this is really good that you're here on this call because you're going to be ahead of the curve, and hopefully more people will figure this out as we go, and we'll get more clear definitions as we go. So there's this company, I think, like I said, it's called Plan That. It's an Instagram scheduling, feed organization tool. And I'm gonna give them a shout out. They were flipping smart. You know what blog post they just released? They released a blog post on shadow banning. And that it's all because of banned hashtags. And literally, this blog post was blown up my Facebook feed. Like, everyone is sharing this blog post. Like, this company was smart. They have themselves on the map. They have all these people going to their website for this new tool because they jumped on a hot topic and they have a solution. It's not a solution, people. I'm telling you right now, what they're preaching is not the answer. Not discrediting what they're saying. What they're saying about banned hashtags is true, that these hashtags are banned. But from everything I can see, what they're saying about them impacting shadow banning is not true. So here's what the whole deal is with banned hashtags. The theory in shadow banning is that if you use a banned hashtag, then it voids all your other hashtags. Haven't seen that happen. Anyone wants to prove it to me? I'm open. For the record, I literally am talking to 4 people right now around the world who are investigating this with me. Like, normal people, just like you and me, who have normal Instagram accounts that have seen changes, and we are running tests, and we are investigating, and these are all things that are going into, like, everything I'm going to share with you guys. I'm not even joking, you guys. Like, I'm determined. If it means, like, showing up on Facebook's flippin' front door and, like, talking to Mark Zuckerberg myself, oh my god, would that not be amazing if I could just pull this out of him? I would. I so seriously would. I'm determined to get you guys this answer and give you guys the solutions going forward. So, anyways, this article is saying that there's all these planned or banned hashtags, and that if you use these, it will discredit every other hashtag you use. So, haven't seen it. Personally, don't believe it. Prove me wrong. I'm open to be proven wrong, you guys. So here's the thing. They list all these hashtags that are banned. And you guys know there's banned hashtags. Like, you literally can't use hashtag Instagram. If you use hashtag Instagram, there's no results. It doesn't bring up any results. Barry, it's totally a stretch. I'm convinced it's a stretch. I'm convinced it's not the real thing. It's not what's happening. And here's the thing. None of the hashtags I'm using are banned, and I'm still seeing the same problem. So that's not the cause of my impact, because I have double checked every single hashtag that I use on my posts. None of them are banned, and I'm seeing the same results. So this is all of, and I want to point this out, you guys. I'm telling you all these theories because I want them to go poof. I want them to blow up. I want these stupid theories to go away, because every time we have an excuse, we hold on to it like it's the end of the world. And this is our saving grace, that this is, if I don't do this, if I do more of this, if I stop doing this, then my Instagram will go back to being what it was. Stop! We're going to talk about the things you should be doing. So, focusing on all these stupid little excuses is not going to be that solution. Seeking Surnames just said, are they broad hashtags they banned? I use what I would consider to be niche. Most of them are broad. So, for example, one of the ones that actually did shock me that's currently banned is literally hashtag dogs of Instagram. Literally, dogs of Instagram. If you go, like, don't get off this video. I need you to stay here and listen to me. But after this video, go over to hashtag dogs of Instagram in the search. And you're going to see top posts, and it's going to scroll down. You notice top posts are normally only 9 posts, right? So you're going to see the top posts, and it's going to scroll down, and then it's going to stop. And it's going to say, due to community guidelines violations or some verbiage like that, other content has been blocked from this Instagram or this hashtag. That's a banned hashtag. That I've literally seen that with my own 2 eyes. It happens. There are other hashtags that are absolutely banned. Like hashtag iPhone is banned. Even sometimes like they'll ban like hashtag Halloween or hashtag Easter, because there's so much content that there's no way they could manage it. And I think that's honestly what happened with hashtag dogs of Instagram, is that literally everybody and their dog, was using that hashtag. And it just got to be too much content. And Instagram's like, meh, time out, can't do it, too much. And they block it. They're like, we're not even going to try to filter this content, we're done with you. So if you're using a banned hashtag, stop using it, because it's not doing it. You're wasting a hashtag, so you shouldn't be using them. Find out if they're banned. It's really simple. Go to all of your hashtags and tap on them and see if they have results. If they have results, if you scroll down and they have like all the results, they have top and then they have current, then you're good. If you scroll down and it says there's no more, then it's a banned hashtag, so stop using it and save yourself a hashtag. Barry Seeking Students Instagram hates puppies. Right? Can you imagine if you couldn't have puppies on Instagram? It would be the end of the world. Like that might actually end the world. No, and you can use plenty of other hashtags. I think hashtag dogs actually works, which is the funniest thing. I think hashtag dogs works, but not dogs of Instagram. So go figure. Barry's saying, so it literally, a timeout, overload. Yeah, it's just timeout. It's too much content. John saying hashtag July 4th. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It probably was. I haven't even looked at that one. I totally should have, since we just had July 4th. But I didn't even look at that one. So here's the thing, you guys. I'm gonna be the first person to raise my hand and say, whatever you want to define shadow banning as, because that word does not exist in Facebook land. If you bring up that word to anybody at Facebook or Instagram, they're going to tell you it's not happening. Because by their definition, it's not happening. The blogging dork is there oh, you guys got all excited. We got the comments are flooding. Okay, the blogging dork said, is there a central way to see all the banned hashtags, and do they change once a day, once a week? There is no central place. There's no like list, and any list that's out there is never going to be 100% accurate because things can change. You just kind of have to know what works for you, like know your common hashtags. If you're commonly using like 15 to 20 consistently, check those. In theory, they shouldn't go in and out, but it could be one of those things like July 4th could just get banned. And I'm not saying it is because I haven't checked it, but you could say July 4th is banned during like, you know, maybe June and July. And then by August, maybe it's working again because people have stopped using it. So if it's an overload thing, they could be a little bit more kind of varied in terms of when they are and aren't banned. But something like dogs of Instagram, which is just so over the top used all the time, then it's just probably going to always be in this like overload ban because they can't filter the content. Katrina's saying, someone told me you should use less than 30 hashtags or you get shadow banned. Yay, another theory! It's bullshit. Sorry, you guys. I'm, like I said, literally, I'm so over this. There's so many stupid excuses. No. How many hashtags you use has nothing to do. I've used 5, I've used 10, I've used 25. Same flipping results. No difference. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you guys, None of this shit matters. And I know I'm cussing and I know I'm excited about this because I'm so crazy. Like this, the whole reason I'm talking about this is because this topic will not go away. And I know you guys are genuinely concerned and that's why you're here. And I want you guys to have this information so you can just stop listening to all these stupid excuses that people keep coming up with. Everyone's like, oh, well, it's this and it's that and this isn't. No, none of it matters. So I'm gonna tell them, I want to talk about it. We're gonna get there, I promise. It all wants to come spewing out of my mouth, but I'm trying to keep myself on track. Okay, Barry said, once hashtags are banned, always banned. I was just answering that, Barry. Not always. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they're always banned. It just depends on the hashtag. So John's saying he could only find July 4th, 2017. Good to know. So guess what? Hashtag July 4th is probably banned. You know why? Because how many people live in the US and how many people not in the US are using that hashtag and trying to hop on that hashtag, and all the spammers and everybody are hopping on that hashtag and everyone's taking advantage of it. There's probably like a bazillion pieces of content. I know bazillion's a very technical term and a very accurate term, but yeah, I'm sure there were like a bazillion posts associated with hashtag July 4th. I even used them. I did. I'm not going to deny it. I totally used them. Oh, hey, Cheval John is in the house. Good to see you. Because I can. Crafts by Danny says my brain hurts. I know, sweetie. Trust me. My brain hurts every day. My brain hurts a lot today. I was out, I don't know, total random side note. I went to King Richard II, the theater production here at the Old Globe in San Diego last night, and it didn't end until 10:30. I'm usually asleep by 9 because I get up at 5 a.m. to go to work. So I didn't get home until 11 o'clock last night, and then I still had to, like, wash up and take the dog and, like, do all, I'm like, oh my god, you guys, I'm so flippin' tired today. After this call, I'm so excited about this topic, it's keeping me afloat because after this call, I'm going to bed. I'm not even joking, I'm going to bed. John was like, I was like, no hashtag. Why no hashtag? Yeah, because apparently it's blocked. Everyone, you're all laughing at me. I love it. Loving this, preach sister, loving the cursing, my kind of girl. Oh, Danny, I love you. I knew we were best friends. Sorry, I'm hitting people's comments. Not trying to hit people's comments. Okay. Katrina said, okay, good. A speaker said that at a conference and I thought it was weird. I'm not going to ask you to call them out. I would love to know. Katrina, if you want to shoot me a DM, if you don't want to post it here publicly, because I hate calling people out and I would never want to do that. But if you want to tell me, send me a DM afterwards and let me know who told you that, I would love to know. These things are being proliferated. And if it's somebody I know, I will personally reach out to them and tell them to stop saying this shit. Like, I'm not even joking. If it's not somebody I know, well, then maybe I'll still reach out to them. We'll see. But I really, the more we can get this education out there and stop having people, like, just continue to fire out these ridiculous explanations, people need to know what's really going on and not proliferate all this fear. Caffeine is essential. Oh my god, I'm seriously, like, dying today. I'm living on caffeine and sugar. So Cheval John saying, listen to Jen, don't get shadow banned. Exactly. Listen to me. And Katrina saying she'll DM me. Perfect. Okay. So before we got randomly into all these amazing comments, because you guys are amazeballs, and this is why I love my Instagram lives, is because this is what I get from you guys. You guys literally show up, you're active, you ask the questions, you participate, and that's why I'm here every other week. So, as I was saying, yes, this phenomenon has happened to me. Not gonna lie. Be the first person to raise my hand and said I've noticed it. So, I usually averaged about 120 to 150 in terms of likes on a post. Right now, I'm happy to break 100. Is that a significant difference? No. I mean, we're talking like going to like from 120 to 90. Not a huge difference, but that's still, when you think about it, we're talking about a 20% drop most of the time. I'm seeing about a 20 to 30% drop in engagement. And that's significant, right? I mean, it's not a 1 or 2% drop. Like, I'm seeing a, double-digit drop in my engagement. I have some posts that are like, they're sitting at like 57 likes. Seriously? What the fuck? I have 14,000 followers. I have 14 of you on live at this exact moment, and I can only get 50 likes on a post? Like, something is going on. And I could go into all the, I posted at the wrong time, I did something I didn't post the good content, I didn't use the good caption, all these things. I'm going to tell you guys what's really going on. in my opinion. I know nothing. I literally wish I could, I say this every time, right? And I want to be like, bat phone, Instagram, what's up? Tell me what's going on so I can share it with the world, and hang up the phone. But I don't have that secret bat phone. I really, really, really wish I did. So a couple things you need to be aware of. In terms, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Exactly. I just actually say it, because that's just, I get the comments all the time, you know, do I talk to my daughter with that mouth? And I'm like, yeah, actually I do. My kid's gonna have Tourette's by the time she starts kindergarten, because I'm just like, ugh, I have to get it out. And it usually comes out in bad words. So for those of you who don't like the bad words, I apologize. For those of you who like it, well, embrace it, because here it is. John's asking if it's a drop due to summer vacations. Not necessarily. So here's the thing. Instagram did the algorithm a while ago. We all know that, right? We're seeing an algorithm. Your content is sorting within your feed. You log into Instagram, it's going to show you what you are most likely to engage with at the top of your feed. This is normal. We've seen this now for months. We're used to this behavior. This could impact your engagement, because if you are not creating engaging content, your audience is not engaging with it, which means your likes are going to go down. And if they're not liking your content is going to rank lower in their feeds. The assistant principal will have you on speed dial. Oh, John, trust me, I will be on speed dial with the principal. We're beyond assistant principal at this point. Like, no joke. My kid's gonna be the one that walks up to somebody else in the playground, smacks them, laughs, and then cusses as she walks away. She's the cutest, most adorable, girly, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, little adorable thing. And she's like the biggest tomboy. And she's, oh my god, and with my language, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Because see, Danny, I'm telling you, girl, you and I are best friends, and just didn't know it yet. My daughter said shit at 3. Oops. What are you gonna do? Here's the thing. Mommy's got her words. Sabrina has her words. I would encourage her not to use my words, but the reality is it's gonna happen. Studies have proven that people who swear are most truthful. Woo! Thumbs up on Barry for bringing the stats. It also has been shown that it's a great stress reliever, and for someone who's a high stress person like me, I can say some cuss words and let it come out, and everyone can get along, and we can be good, or I can bottle up all of that tension and blow up at somebody and be not so great. So my cussing is a stress release that keeps me calm and rational and saves lives. It really does. Okay, so John's saying I'm a former educator, alternative school, so you get it. Okay, back on track, you guys. Okay, so it could be the algorithm, and I've talked about the algorithm before. I'm not going to go into great detail here, but the algorithm is based on interaction. So for all of those of you who are interacting with me right now, if you liked all of my posts whenever they pop up on Instagram, my Instagram comments or posts are going to show up higher in your feed because you always interact with my content. If you're just that crazy stalker who just like follows me but doesn't actually like my content, or you're following me and you don't like my content, so therefore you don't like physically like it, then my content is going to show up lower in your feed. It's really important that you're creating great quality content that your audience wants and that they're more likely to engage with. When you can drive engagement, you're going to continue that cyclical effect of driving more engagement. Okay, that's enough about that algorithm, because I could talk about that for hours, and I have. We've literally done videos on this, so that's all I'm going to say. But as a result, yes, some drop in engagement could come from that. They also shut down all these things like Mass Planner and Instagress and all these other accounts or platforms over the last 2 to 3 months. And that caused a huge drop in engagement. You know why? Because those accounts were built on spamming hashtags. That's what they did. I didn't, but let's assume I hired or purchased a plan through Mass Planner. What would happen is that I would say, go ahead and follow these 3 hashtags and like content on those hashtags, because they're maybe related to my target audience, and I think that if they see me liking their content, that they're going to come back and like my content. So this was automated bot-related services, which bot like robot, not bot like buying, but it is also bot like buying. So what happens is when they shut down these massive accounts, like we're talking Instagress, Mass Planner, and all these things that literally have thousands, like so many people use these platforms and are sending out probably millions of likes a day, what's going to happen? You shut those down, all those likes go away. So that was a significant drop that people were not accounting for. And this is when the whole shadow banning thing became a big deal back in like March and April. This is what started to happen. I think it was in May, they started shutting down these accounts. So people started noticing shadow banning, they started talking about it, and then everyone started seeing it happen in May when Instagram's master plan and everything got shut down. Logical explanation was obviously these accounts being shut, or platforms being shut down. John's asking, does this impact Instagram stories? No, and we're talking Instagram stories in just a minute. I'm going to tell you why. Karen's saying Instagram equals Facegram. Pretty much. We're going to talk about that too, but what you can expect. Facebook owns Instagram. You guys don't think that these things aren't going to happen on the horizon. You think logically. You guys know this. We're not idiots to this concept. We know what's going to happen. But we can plan ahead, we can get ahead of the curve, and we can use it to our advantage if we know what to do properly. And that's some of the things I want to talk about and make sure we set ourselves up for success. With that being said, I've literally got 20 minutes until this video ends, so we got to get through the last of this stuff. Okay, so this shadow banning is happening. All of our likes are decreasing. Why is this happening? It's happening to me. It's happening to a lot of you. You guys are reaching out to me. You're talking to me about it. This is legitimately happening. All of our engagement is dropping off significantly. Here's the thing. And hey, Stephanie, literally, hey, Stephanie. If you guys don't know, hey, Stephanie, she is amazing. She's a fellow San Diegan, killing it with live video, Facebook Live, all that fun stuff. We're going to try to coordinate and get me on her show, coming up. So that's going to be super fun, you guys. So stay tuned for when I can make that one happen. Barry's saying, my day's getting underway. Glad I could drop by. So glad you were here, Barry. Make sure you come back and catch the rest of this because we're talking about all the good takeaways in like 2 minutes so I don't run out of time. Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. Here's what's happening. Instagram stories. What happens when Facebook wants to put everything on one topic? They double down, they triple down, they quadruple down. They go all in. You know what else they're going all in on right now? Facebook groups. Don't get me started on Facebook groups. You know where the next place ads are going to show up? Facebook groups. Because they're pushing everybody into Facebook groups because there's no more space for ads in the Facebook newsfeed. So where are they going to put ads? Facebook groups. Where are they pushing you to go? Facebook groups. Just saying. So let's take that to Instagram. What are they doubling down on? Instagram stories. Where are they pushing everybody? Instagram stories. Where are they going to make money? Instagram stories. How are they going to do that? By getting people to use Instagram stories. How are they going to do that? By getting you flipping crazy about Instagram. Oh, my Instagram engagement is so low. Oh, it's not working. Oh, but look, when I use an Instagram story, all of a sudden, I'm getting more engagement. Oh, if I use a hashtag on my Instagram story, I show up at the top of the hashtag search. Oh, if I use a location tag on an Instagram story, I'm showing up for my city's Instagram geotag. Oh my goodness. Oh, I should be using Instagram stories. I'm getting so much better engagement. Duh. This is what they're doing. I really hope you guys are understanding how clearly obvious this is when you think about it from a Facebook perspective. They want you to use Instagram stories. If they take away your engagement on Instagram and make you have great engagement on Instagram stories, where are you going to be? And I'm loving all of your comments. I'm getting the laughing faces, I'm getting the LOLs, those dirty dogs. Yes! This is what is happening. This is, as John says, I'm cutting stories. So here's the thing, you guys. It's not a bad thing. This will regulate. I promise you it will regulate. Facebook is not going to go belly up and forget about Instagram. Here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to kill Snapchat. I swear to God, if I could talk to Mark Zuckerberg in complete honesty and transparency and secrecy, I guarantee you he'd say he's trying to take down Snapchat. No one will ever admit it, but we all know that's what they're trying to do. How do they do that? Instagram stories. And then they can build the platform, they can draw more money, they're trying to find ad revenue. They've said so many times, like what we're seeing on Instagram and Facebook right now is just a tiny portion of their entire long-term strategy. So you have to expect these changes to be coming. Right now, they're driving you guys crazy on Instagram and they're laughing. I swear to God, they're laughing at you. I got LOL, also the hashtags, location, etc. is going to be invaluable data for them. Exactly! They want you to use stories for so many reasons. John's saying I'm going to use Snapchat again, LOL. I'm not going that far. I never do the Snapchat thing. Because I can, Danny. No, it's okay. You just got started. It's okay. Trust me. You're going to be ahead of the curve. You have nothing to worry about. I promise you, you're going to be okay. Dana Winston said, of course. Teens love Snapchat from Karen. He was ticked by Snap not selling them. Of course he was. It's like a personal vengeance now that he's going to destroy them because they could have taken all the billions of dollars he was going to give them and they'd have owned it and not have to do any of his work themselves. But now he's made it his personal mission to take them down. So now that you understand it's all about Instagram stories, this is why they're doing this. This is a very deliberate method. Instagram has the capacity to hide your content from anybody they want. They have the capacity to show your content to anybody they want. They are doing this very selectively. They are doing this on purpose. But it will regulate. If your engagement drops off 30, 50%, guess what? It's okay. You're still getting better engagement on Instagram than you probably are on any other platform. Maybe Pinterest, a little bit better. Maybe some Instagram Live. If you have a really good Instagram platform, you may get better engagement on Instagram Live. But here's the thing. It's going to regulate. They're going to give it back to Instagram. Once Instagram stories gets where they want to go and they've built the traction and everybody's good, they're going to come back. The hashtags will regulate. Things will get better in theory. I have another theory on that. But with that in mind, hashtags will regulate. And here's the thing. If you have 1,000 followers and you get 50 likes on a photo, good for frickin' you. Okay? You got 50 dang likes. If you have 1,000 followers and you got 200 likes, good for frickin' you. You got 200 likes. Who cares about the number of likes unless it's driving something of value? How many clicks did you get in your website from your Instagram profile? That's what I care about. How many people click that call button to call you and book a reservation at your restaurant? Book a reservation to get their hair done. How many people emailed you to book your services as a consultant? That's what I care about on Instagram. I don't give a flying fuck about how many likes I have on my freaking Instagram account. I do, but I really don't. Yeah, it's great to see I got 300 likes on a photo. I got 120 likes, but you know what? Right now, the engagement I'm getting is so real that when I get 120 likes on a photo, I know that's 120 genuine likes versus the 120 that used to be a lot of bullshit. So now I'm getting good quality engagement. I know what people actually like. If I only get 57 likes, that content was not good, or it was a really bad posting time, which with the algorithm, posting time is not that important anymore. Just saying. So it's really that content, the liking and everything is not that important. What you're getting from your ROI is what is actually of value to you. That is why you're using Instagram. It's not a popularity contest. I don't care what anybody tells you. Those likes don't matter. So stop flipping worrying about it. Create great content. Drive real results for your business. And that's what's actually going to get you results on Instagram. Whether you're using Instagram stories or Instagram, that's what's going to work. I know you're going to sit here, I'm talking to people around the world, I told you already, who are going to sit back and say, but I need new people to find my content. How are new people going to find my content? I promise you they're going to find it. Hashtags still work, just not the same way. And hashtags, I'm going to say it, I said it in the blog post, hashtags are going to be disappearing in the future. Hashtags are going to be irrelevant. Let that sink in for just a second. We live and die by hashtags on Instagram, right? Watson's in the house. Hey, Watson. Madame Story. Hey, sweetie, good to see you from Germany. Oh my goodness, I got so many people tuning in, like the most inconvenient times. I love that you people show up in the middle of the night, middle of the morning. I love it. You guys are amazing. Danny, we're gonna talk more. I know that you're sitting here saying you're not getting your results and everything. We're gonna get you, girl. I promise. We're gonna get things working for you. Watson says, love it, tune in right as you say fuck, lol. Oh, Ken, you gotta go back and watch the replay. It's been one of those videos. Like, seriously, Mama unleashed a little bit tonight. What? No more hashtags. By Amal Fadi, I don't know if that's how to say it, saying hi. Create great, consistent content over time. Yes, Madam Story suggests for you. Mwah! Oh my god, I love you, girl. Thanks for being here. So yes, let that sink in, you guys. Hashtags will be gone. Hashtags will be irrelevant. In some capacity, possibly all together, but here's why. There's this little thing called metadata. It's a very complicated, very algorithmic, very high-techy thing that I will never fully understand. But basically, Madam Story is asking when? Years. It'll probably be years before we see hashtags really disappear. This is not something that's going to happen overnight, you guys. It's not going to just disappear. But in the future, and this is why I want you guys to start thinking about your content strategy, is this thing called metadata. And I literally have like 10 minutes until this video is over. So this is why I really wanted to stress this to you guys. So metadata, let's say I took this photo in this frame right now, and this was the photo I uploaded to Instagram. The Instagram AI is going to see glasses, it's going to see a girl, a person, maybe office, desk. This is what it's going to pick up in terms of the metadata, in terms of what is actually in the photo. So if I use hashtag puppy, because I can't use hashtag dogs with Instagram, we already talked about that one, right? So let's say I used hashtag puppy. Is there a puppy in this photo? Why would this photo show up in a search for puppies? There's no puppy in the photo. So the AI is going to start smartly detecting what is in your photos if it's not happening already, and I'm willing to bet this is happening. I'm 100% confident that this is being tested, if not actually used. I have yet to have anybody actually tell us that it's really happening. There's no confirmation from anybody at Facebook or Instagram, and some people even say it's not happening. I don't believe it. I believe it's happening now. I believe they're really testing this, if not actually using it, where they are looking at the content, at least in some granular, or not granular, but broad perspective, to see what is in the content. And if you're using all these hashtags that are completely unrelated to the content, why would they put you in that content? Now, that being said, let's just say hypothetically you take a photo of a beach and use hashtag entrepreneur. Well, technically, you could be saying, live the life of an entrepreneur, work at the beach all day. So technically, they could be related. Whereas right now, the AI is going to go, this is a beach. What does this have to do with entrepreneur? So at some point, the AI has to get smart enough to be able to see correlations. And then trust me, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Facebook. Like, they're smart enough to figure this shit out. I'm not even joking. So it's going to happen in some capacity, if not full capacity, where instead of hashtag searches, what's going to happen is your Explore tab is going to be based entirely on metadata, entirely on the content in the photo. Not your hashtags, not your caption, but what is actually in your content. So here's what I really want you guys to think about going forward. Start doing this today. Madam Story is saying they're reading our brains. Pretty much. There's actually, I'm not even joking, Mari Smith talked about this at Social Media Day, that one of the things they're actually working on in the Facebook lab is literally brain activity. Not even joking. Facebook is working on ways to actually read your brain activity so that it, like, if you think something, it will do it. That you don't have to actually do this. Like, yeah, no more sarcasm possible. They are literally reading our brains. It's happening, people. It's really happening. I'm totally screwed. How will it know when genealogy from an old photo? And this is what I'm talking about, you guys. This is why the AI has to improve. So, in theory, if the AI was looking at a photo, an old photo, they might be able to detect the black and white, or they might be able to detect that sepia type look that makes it look old, so hashtag genealogy would be a related concept. Or genealogy has to do with people, so if there's people in the photo, it should correlate. Now again, like I said, this is, I'm sure, in a very tested state. It is not a granular level where they're getting into the finite details of how the AI is testing against, the actual individual data and possible correlations between hashtags and those pieces of content. So it's not 100% right now by any means. Will it ever be 100%? I don't know, but it's going to be real. Excuse me. This is going to be real, and so I really want you guys to start thinking about your content. What are you putting in your photos? I really want you to start thinking about the content that you are putting out there in relation to your message. Don't just put out a photo because. If it's a beautiful sunset, great. But don't expect it to show up in a hashtag search for girl boss, because it's not. Is it related to your business? Can you talk about it as a girl boss? Can you put that hashtag on there? By all means, do it. But that, based on this direction of the algorithm and the sorting and the metadata and this artificial intelligence and all these things that are going on that we have no full knowledge of, Those things are not correlated, and your hashtag searches are probably not going to generate results for that content. I'm just saying. Now, that being said, the Explore tab is always going to show you new content. If you're creating great content that is interactive with your audience, they're engaging with it, you're getting bursts of activity, and if it's something that is related to your target audience, you're going to show up in that Explore tab. So people need to actually be using the Explore tab. Now, I'm also going to say, show of hands before we run out of time. You're all flipping out about these damn hashtags. How many of you, in 100% honesty, can raise your hand? Raise your hand or say me if you have actually searched a hashtag in search of a business. I'm going to give you a minute to go in there and honestly answer me. Have you ever searched a hashtag for a business? Have you ever gone in and looked for hashtag DIY because you wanted to figure out how to do something on your own? Have you ever searched for something related to a product, a service? Danny's saying she has. Good, okay, good to know. Got a couple no's, got another no. Danny's saying yes, she did. So we got Danny saying yes. Danny, you may be my only exclusion to this. Hey, Stephanie's saying LOL no. I've got a never. Oh, Katrina's saying yes. Karen is saying maybe for a place. I've searched a business hashtag. Okay, good to know. Stephanie's saying only events and photos of food to eat. Yep. Okay, so here's why I'm asking you guys this. Because a lot of people don't necessarily search hashtags. They may search a keyword. They may search a topic. But a lot of people are not actually searching a hashtag. So if you're using hashtag wedding photography, some people may search that. Not gonna lie. That's something people might search for. But they're more likely to go and look for something in terms of a specific location. They'd be more likely to look for San Diego photographers than they would be to look for wedding photographers, because I don't need a wedding photographer from the UK if I live in San Diego. I'm going to look for somebody in San Diego. So I'm going to look for something that's more of a keyword, and yes, in those situations, I may actually use a hashtag. But the majority of people who are genuine consumers are not actually looking at hashtags. Most hashtags are just generating likes. Now, I love me a hashtag strategy, and I preach it. I do. I really do, because they can be valuable. And that's why you should be using those niche-specific ones. If you are a San Diego photographer, absolutely use hashtag San Diego photography. I will continue to use hashtag Instagram marketing, hashtag Instagram training, because this is what I do and I want people to find my content. So I will continue to use those hashtags in the event that if someone's looking for it, they will find my content. But I really want you to think about how much content and how much traffic you're driving from any of those popular hashtags. Madam Story saying, I'll watch the replay. I need to get up in 4 hours. Girl, get some sleep. I'm going to bed at literally 6 o'clock tonight because I've had no sleep all week. So trust me, girl, you go get some sleep, come back and watch the replay. It'll be live for 24 hours. So I really want you guys to think about the hashtag usage. Use those niche specific ones. Absolutely. Use them. Get rid of the popular ones. Stop doing it. Start creating content that's actually related to your target search. If your business is wedding photography, have photos of weddings, wedding dresses, people at a wedding, flowers, wedding rings, all the things that are related to what you do. If you are Danny, you do crafts. Take photos of the things you do. Take photos of your workspace, things that your potential audience actually care about. Sharing a sunset photo, probably not that important in terms of the content you're creating. This is not what Instagram used to be. Instagram used to be very broad and diverse, and you could share more broad content, and you could get out of your normal kind of, swim lane in terms of what you created for content. That is going away, you guys. It's time to start thinking about the future of Instagram and start adjusting your strategies. You need to start thinking about what are you creating that is going to actually drive results for your business. So I only have about 3 minutes left and we're going to get kicked off. Bald Guy Studios saying, use our city hashtag. Right, yeah, absolutely. If you want to be found for your local area, use those hashtags for your city or certain things within the city. We're talking about restaurants as an example, about, photographers and weddings and this sort of thing. Yes, in those situations, absolutely. And if you are a local-based business, use your local city hashtags. That's great, because guess what? There really isn't that much content on those hashtags. Of course, you're going to want to go down the road of Instagram stories. Trust me, that's hard for me to say because I don't like Instagram stories, and you guys know that. I love me some Instagram Live. I do not love me some Instagram stories, but we all have to learn and adapt. There needs to be a balance between the two. If you're going to die hard on Instagram and you don't want to do stories, that's fine. But you have to accept what Instagram is right now. You have to accept what it's going to be in a year, what it's going to be in 6 months. You need to be prepared for it. And Danny's saying, I hate stories. Girl, I'm with you. You and I are like on the same wavelength right now. It's hilarious. I love it. Okay, so I want to make sure I covered all my notes before we got kicked off the show because I had all my notes. I wanted to make sure we got through everything and I didn't miss anything important. So for that, I want to say thank you, you guys. We literally have like 2 minutes and this call will be over. Instagram Live only lets me go for an hour. Otherwise, I would be here all night. I don't have my daughter tonight. She's over at Grandma and Grandpa's, getting in some kiddie pool time in the backyard. So I would stay on this call for 2 hours and keep talking to you guys and answer the questions if I could. But Instagram's going to cut me off because I Craft Danny is saying I never know what to storify. Danny, you and I need to chat. We're going to get you all hooked up, girl. But yeah, creating stories is not easy. It's really not. It's a completely different strategy. It's a completely different tactic. I've talked about Instagram stories. I've written a couple blog posts on them. It really is a different aspect, you guys. It's completely different in terms of strategy from what we do on Instagram. So I really want you to think about what you're doing right now. Think about what you're going to do in the future. Don't change drastically what you're doing. Keep doing it and keep experimenting. Like, get rid of the hashtags and see if it makes a difference. Add the hashtags back in. Use only niche-specific hashtags. Do this, do that. Do whatever you want. Test it out and see what works. But don't stress about those little tiny numbers on the number of likes you have. I know everyone freaks out because it's a popularity contest, and if your competition has 300 likes and you only have 100, who cares? I know you do, and if you're an agency and you're managing your clients, I know your clients care. Tell them to come listen to this video and warn them about the cussing and just let them listen to this. But they only have 24 hours because as soon as I hit stop recording, this thing's gone in 24 hours. Seeking Surnames, and I did a story that was a 10-step tutorial. It took a bit of planning. Absolutely. I love using stories for that kind of thing. And I love that you're doing that to do those stories as an actual, plan. Like say, it's great for, cooking. It's great for food prep. It's great for if you're doing any of those, crafting type things. Having those tutorials before and afters and all that kind of stuff is great examples. So we're coming up. My hour is up, you guys. We could talk, like I said, I could talk like this for the next 2 hours. You guys have been great. You've been asking all the questions. I love you for being here and for being so active. If you have any questions, you can always shoot me a DM. You guys know I will get back to you. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for coming back and watching the whole replay. As always, as well, you can send me a DM if you have any questions of the things we talked about, but I hope this answered some questions. I hope you guys realize you are on the forefront of this information. Like, this is information that I've only vaguely shared or haven't even yet shared at all. I'm going to keep sharing it. I'm going to put it out there. If you guys do want to stay on top of this, you can always feel free to join me at Jen's Friends. Go to learn.jenstrends.com. It's my exclusive Instagram community. Ken is here in the group. He knows all this. Ken's like, I'm already up on all this because we talk about this in Jen's Friends. None of this is new to him. So these are things that we talk about all the time. I'm dedicated to helping you guys succeed on Instagram with my Jen's Friends community. So feel free to go over and check that out and join me as a friend. It's all the breaking news. It's all the insights. You get direct access to me. You get training videos and all that fun stuff in that community. So you can always look into that as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for those of you who stayed up in the middle of the night, who got up early, who were interrupting your dinners. I appreciate it. You know I love you. Danny says you're good like that. Well, girl, you're good like that. So thank you guys again for being here. Have a wonderful evening. Mama's gonna go to bed. I'm literally going to go maybe eat some food and I'm gonna go crawl into bed and it's 5:30. Like, I'm that tired. I made it through an hour of energy and cussing. We got through it, you guys. So thank you so much for being here. I will see you again in 2 weeks and we will be talking about something else. I haven't figured out what. I'm sure it'll be something exciting, and whatever happens in the next 2 weeks, we'll dedicate a call to that one. So thanks again for being here, you guys. I will see you next time. Have a great night. Maybe? It never wants to turn off. Let's try that again. End. See? It doesn't want me to end. It just wants me to keep talking. Is this hilarious? There we go.